As always, don't forget to check the video description down below for the best price on tools and parts I use in today's video. Today, got this 2012 Jeep Compass. We're going to be replacing the rear wheel hub assembly. Got the wheel off. It's like 5/19 millimeters. Let's check it out. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do, go ahead and lift the vehicle. There's a lifting spot. Always use jack stands, always use wheel chocks. You can see I'm definitely using mine. Like I said, 5/19 millimeters. Take that wheel off. This drum, it's a little difficult to take off, maybe because it's got rust or because the age of the car. One thing you could do, of course, make sure your e-brake is down. You know, if it's pulled up, it's applied. If you push the button and go down, it's down. And then you can take a 4-pound hammer and bang here, just on the inside of these guys right here. Just make sure you don't mess up the studs. Of course, our new part's going to come with new studs. But again, if you're reusing that, just make sure you don't hit the studs. The other thing you do is just grab both sides and pull. And I was able to get it out a little bit like that. And then what I did is I took my pry bar, just kind of came around and pried a little bit, got it out a little bit more. And then there was a gap between here and the drum, and I was starting to just kind of wedge it out that way. And that is how I ended up, I will end up having it out all the way. But you're just gonna kind of pry and pull, and we'll get this drum off. And here we can see I just kind of held out and pried, and it just popped right off. Now, this is our wheel hub assembly, and I'll show you our new one here in a second. But basically, we've got these 4 bolts. You got one there, one there, one there. And I don't know if you can see it. Okay, actually, no, 2 there and 2 on the other side. And then in the middle, right here, this is like a wheel speed sensor. I believe it's like a 10 or something like that. Basically gonna take all those out, and then we're gonna pull this hub assembly right off. Also, if you wanna check your hub assembly before you replace it, with the wheel still on the vehicle, raise the car up, take your bottom hand here, go like this with your top hand, shaking back and forth like that, see if there's any play. There's no play in this one, but if we spin it, it's kind of, I don't know if you can hear it, but there is a little bit of noise. There should be 0 noise. I can almost hear, like, sorry, my phone was ringing. I can almost hear like a little bearing or something moving around, which says, hey, you know, this one's bad, time for the new one. So you can kind of just check it before you replace it. Okay, and I got my stuff on the back here. You can see that's a 10, that's a 17 with an extension. Kind of fits on your bolt right there. So we're gonna take those 4 bolts off, and you can see I got the extension on there. I'm just gonna take a long ratchet like this, and you should be able to hit all of them. You may have to play around with the extensions, but you should be able to hit all of them, kind of like from right here. You can see I'm out here, and I'll be a lefty-loosey. And oh, hey, I'm sitting in. Now, after that, once I've broken all 4 of them loose, I'm gonna use my 3/8 Milwaukee electric, and I'll just zap them out there. You can find this below in the video description, and it makes the job quicker. It's fun. Anyways, I'll go ahead and take that out, and we'll see where we're at next. Okay guys, and I got my bolts off in the back, and I was able to get them with that extension and that socket combination, and that wheel speed sensor came out really easy for me. If it is hard, just spray some PB Blaster or something. You want to be really careful. It's really easy to break those. And once we've got it all out, I'm just holding it up with my left hand. This whole backing plate might come off, and that's fine if it does. You can see there's a little spacer down in there, so just make sure you know how everything went. But if you hold with one hand, it should just be able to wiggle off. Oh, and there we go. Drop them out like that. And it passes all the drum brakes, so you don't have to disassemble that. That's nice. So now we'll just take the new one, put it back in, same way it came out, and we should be good to go. So we'll see it here in just a moment. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my new one, put my new one in, make sure your little wheel speed sensor is there to the left, and you can see I got the stuff sitting there with 2 bolts diagonal from each other. So this guy is just gonna go in like this right here, and we'll set him in there. And I'm gonna use 2 hands. Sorry, I don't use a stand, guys, but I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna start my bolts and then run the bolts in, and then we should be good to go. Okay, y'all, last couple tips here. If this wheel bearing had any trouble coming off, you want to take a big 4-pound hammer and come and try and hit the back of it, because sometimes they'll be really rusted in. Mine just kind of came out, no big deal, but you can just beat the crap out of it. with the hammer. Again, if you're reusing this part, make sure not to hit the studs. If you are replacing it, who cares? Just beat the tar out of them. The only thing that would suck is if you get stuck on the project and you have to put the wheel back on. But not that big of a project, not that big of a deal. Also, putting the drum back on. I had a problem getting this old drum back over the old shoes. It would kind of stick out on this side. So what I did, just a nice little manipulation with the 4-pound hammer. Just kind of tap on it nice and gently, and this should now just kind of push in. But if not, you're just gonna kind of easy it on with the old 4-pound hammer. So that is pretty much it, guys. That's gonna conclude our little project. Once you get your drum back on, you don't really need to adjust it since it's old drum, old shoes. If you are putting in new drums, new shoes, basically there was that star wheel adjuster. You'll spin it, you'll find out which way is tight. There'll be a little locking mechanism. Let's see if we can see in there. We can't, but basically there's a little star wheel, there's a little lock piece. Pull the lock piece back, take your flathead screwdriver, spin it, find out which way is tight, which way is loose, and then the idea is you want to be able to put the new drum on the new shoes, and you want to be able to put the wheel on and just kind of spin it, and the wheel spins once. You want the drum to be in contact with the shoes. So, because if it just spins freely forever and ever, then you're gonna not have these adjusted, and when you hit the brakes, they're not gonna be braking like they should be. So anyways, that's it. That wraps it up. Make sure you snug everything down. Make sure you really snug the back ones down with a good size ratchet, and there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching.